Last time we spoke, it was after a loss as well, and it's one of those things where you had a good effort personally, but it's about the team game here. What about this game? What went wrong in the third period for you guys?
I think the floodgates started opening once we took the lead, we kind of took our foot off the gas, and once they got one, the floodgates opened, and to be honest, we gave up.
And what can the team do to adjust and to learn from that going into the next week?
We got to play 60 minutes. Coach always says you got to play all three periods, every minute, every shift, and according to that game, we played 44 minutes, and it showed with the score of 8-3. So.
Now, is it good to finally have Carmine Guerrero back in net as well, and what can you guys do to continue to give him better opportunities to win?
Absolutely. It's always nice to have another teammate back in the lineup. I thought Carmen played well. We let him down. Third period wasn't really his forte, but having said that, we didn't give him a chance to perform either. So.
Now, that first period, they had a lot of zone time, but you guys were able to hold on, even had some opportunities shorthanded. Is that the kind of effort you want to continue to see throughout the entire game, though, is to be able to bounce back like that?
Absolutely. We blocked shots, and when you block shots, that gives you offensive opportunity, and we kept shots on net. I mean, the shots were about even at the end of the game, and it showed, right? But the goals didn't. Their goaltender stayed on top of it, so.
And last question, last game for Brandon Carlson. What can you say about him as a senior there and leaving the team now because of eligibility reasons, but what can you say about him and his time here with you?
Great leader, great teammate, great roommate as well. He lives with me, and he's a good guy on and off the ice, and we're going to lose a good defenseman. I wish him all the best.
All right, thanks, Josh. Hey, Austin, our first time speaking with you there. Just what did it feel like, though, to get that goal and to get on the score sheet?
Yeah, it was good to finally get the monkey off the back, but I wish we had a better result.
What can the team do to have that better result, to play a more consistent game throughout an entire 60 minutes?
I mean, we just got to stick with it, keep playing with the game plan. We played good 44 minutes, stuck to the game plan in those 44 minutes, but we just let down there last 20.
And now this team into the third period tied. What happened to the team in general there, especially when you guys took the lead but allowed them to get back into it?
I think we just got complacent. We took our foot off the gas, and in this league, it's a good league. You can't take any shifts off, so I think it showed out there.
And what can you learn from this experience this weekend to take it into next weekend and think positively to what you guys can do next weekend?
I mean, I think we've showed that first 44 minutes we can play with anybody in the conference, so if we just stick to playing like that, I think we'll be fine.
All right, thank you, Austin.
Thank you.
Okay, Coach, effort going into the third period, tie game. What changed in that third period that was just a detriment to your team?
For us right now, we're just tired, and we got to be able to. We got to learn to win those games. Those are games we have to learn to win. And when we get our, when something bad happens, we got to learn that we got to fight back. And you know what? They score that next goal, and we score to go up, and then they come back, and then we got to really dig in and go after them. And that's been our trouble. We've been able to score first goals. We've been able to get leads at certain times, and then when adversity hits, we don't deal with it very well.
And now that adversity, it seems like every time you guys are able to score, they bounced right back. What is it about answering, and how does the team have to respond whenever they score to make sure they don't allow the opponent to come right back?
Well, that's the momentum, and we want to be able to keep momentum. We have to be able to keep the momentum. And you know what? All it is just having a good, simple shift, just a good, hard shift. And you know what? Some negative things happen, and that's where our guys, we got to start reacting to those negative things in a positive way.
Lots of penalties in this game. Both teams took them, though. Was it lack of discipline, or was it emotions getting into it for both teams?
Well, you know what? You're always going to have a good penalty and a bad penalty, and the way that things are being called right now, especially for us, we got to keep our feet. Guys got to keep their feet moving. They got to keep their sticks to themselves, so to speak, and you have to be able to just be disciplined and fight through those things.
And now there was some question about the Bowling Green player the wrong player coming out of the box, but ended up being the right player. Could you explain that a little bit in terms of what happened that ended up leading to a Bowling Green goal once that penalty ended?
What happens is when we score the power play goal before that, it's once we score, the guy that comes out of the box is the guy that makes their team shorthanded. So that's the one with more time on or less time comes out of the box. But that's how it is, and that's one we always have to brush up on a little bit also, because that's the guy that made him shorthanded. That was the reason why we were able to be on the power play.
And Brandon Carlson, his last game, also some questions there about why he's serving his last game right now. Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
Brandon's situation is a 5-year clock situation. You have 5 years to play for, and what he had to do in order to come to school and be eligible initially was become a full-time student while he was playing junior hockey. So he ended up being a transfer student into our university. So he had to start early, literally a year and a half early. So his 5-year clock runs out at this time. Is it bad timing? Sure. We're going to miss him. He's been a great kid on campus and a great player for us from the minute he started on campus. But you know what? And unfortunately, this is the sad part is he goes out this way, and he deserves to go out better.
And last question, Coach, any positives to build off this weekend? Josh Kestner seems to keep performing, and some other players are able to continue to chip in.
Hey, I mean, we're playing good hockey at times. We played 44 minutes of good hockey last night. You know what? We played some good hockey. We just got to be able to sustain. We got to gain confidence, and we got to be able to, when it's time to play smart and simple, we got to play smart and simple, like you say. So when we make those mistakes, we're able to recover from those mistakes, and they don't end up in our net.
Thanks, Coach.